Your Honor, I'm not even sure why we're here. Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo, is at worst a victim, and at best the hero of the galaxy. We have evidence here that will not only prove his innocence, but it will make you feel ashamed that for even 1 second you thought this guy was guilty of anything.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Your Honor, it is not a crime as far as I'm aware to waste the precious time of two handsome lawyers, but if it were, you would all be going straight to jail. Absolutely 100% guilty as sin. Let us know before we start what your favorite crime of Kylo Ren, alleged crime, quote-unquote crime, he will be proven innocent today, or your least favorite crime. Let us know in the comments. Let's get started.
We're going to go in chronological order within his life here. And the first thing you could probably pin on him is Kylo Ren, or at this point, you've probably just been Ben Solo, ending Luke's precious new Jedi Order. My initial reaction is, what? He ended the Jedi Order, the good guys?
Yeah.
That's no bueno. But why'd he do that?
Let's just assume for a second that he did commit this crime that he is accused of. Is this really that impressive? Let's look at the Jedi Temple and everything back from the Republic era. This thing is huge. It's massive. It's beautiful. The architecture is great. What did Luke have? Luke had a little hut. Okay, so this is drummed up from the beginning. Even if he committed this crime exactly as they claim, I'm not even sure I would consider it a crime, considering the level of destruction that he committed. You know, maybe like a slap on the wrist at most. But I don't think that this was his fault whatsoever. Okay, I don't think so. I don't think that he ended the Jedi Temple. I don't think that he killed all of these apprentices, at least not on purpose. Okay, understand the situation that he's in. We all saw it in The Last Jedi. He's sleeping, precious little baby sleeping at a young age of 23. Okay,
deep REM sleep.
Deep Ren sleep.
Deep REM sleep.
He's a super senior. He's 23 years old at this point. You know, a little older than the other kids, so it's probably a little bit awkward. He's feeling a little nervous, a little embarrassed that he's so old.
Hearing constantly, is there a flood coming when he's sitting around with everybody because his pants are too short?
His pants are way too high. Yeah, he's wearing those jeans. Luke hasn't bought him a new pair in like 15 years. For some reason, Han and Leia aren't getting involved either. So what happens? He wakes up in the middle of the night, nightmare, because he sensed that his own uncle was about to slay him in his sleep. And it's like, I understand there's this whole misunderstanding. Luke claims later that he wasn't really going to do it. It's like, yeah, sure, dude. Okay. Like if I ever was considering like bringing violence upon somebody, right? Like in a moment of rage, I'm not going to like go get my gun, load it with bullets, cock it back and then aim it at their head and then try to claim later, well, I wasn't going to do it though. Kylo definitely thought this was going to happen.
You just caught me in a moment of weakness.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. I was sensing that you were evil, and I thought, oh, maybe the best way to deal with you is to kill you. This is just baloney. Luke Skywalker, and we have to make canon justifications for this too, not just like, oh, we have a totally different writer here.
Yeah, of course.
It just looks like Luke Skywalker here goes from a complete like 180 from, oh, my dad is like space Hitler. I'm going to try to get him on the good side. And then my nephew, who has done really nothing wrong up to this point, I'm going to kill him? Luke, what is going on? Is there a gas leak on this planet? Maybe you should have picked a better location, like you said earlier. We're in the middle of nowhere. We used to be in the height of society on Coruscant, and now we're out in the middle of nowhere. How did Luke pick this planet? Was he like putting out a distress call? He's like, hey, let me know as soon as we're too far out where you can't hear us. He's like, oh, yeah, right there. He's like, okay, perfect. But just going over Kylo's like built up psyche at this moment, because he's a kid at this point, even though you have Adam Driver's
Dumbo ears
32-year-old face in that scene. It kind of is like, what are you doing here? But his parents too, Han and Leia, they're just horrible parents, and their justification for Kylo being too far gone, he's like, he had too much Vader in him. Han, what do you know about Vader? That what, he can just like block your blaster bolts with his hand and then force grab it? Like, what's your interactions with Vader for you to know anything about his personality than with Kylo or, Ben Solo at that time? Leia and Han remind me of parents that don't know how to deal with a child, so they just drug him up. Like, oh, my kid, he just has ADHD. He just runs around the house all the time. It's like, no, you just don't do anything with your kid. And you don't discipline him. Like, you're just a bad parent.
Well, it's like a dog that isn't trained either, right? It's like the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they need structure. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let's recount back to Return of the Jedi when Luke was in his prime or slightly before his prime. And like Don Boy just articulated here, we had Darth Vader who committed how many murders throughout his life? We can't, we'll defend Darth Vader eventually, okay? But for now, he's a bloodthirsty murderer and he is
he's on
guilty
our client
of
right
sin.
now, okay? Listen.
Right, yeah, he's not on our dime right now. But not only was Luke willing to forgive him for these crimes, right? He was willing to throw down his defenses. He had a lightsaber ignited because they were already in a hostile interaction that he did not start. Palpatine was stoking the flames here. And he's realized, my father, who has committed untold murders, as many murders as there are stars in this Republic sphere, this Empire galaxy, I still think there's good in him. I'm going to put away my weapon and toss it aside, because that's how confident I am that people can still become good, especially when they wear black masks and capes and they have dark side in them, okay? Now, fast forward.
Got amazing drip.
Got amazing drip. Okay, Kylo didn't have that yet. Ben Solo didn't have that. But if Luke's so smart, I'm sensing all of this future tension, this future death, I guarantee you saw that drip in the vision. Is it jealousy? There might be a hint of jealousy I'm sensing here from Luke.
Yes, you're 100% right here. And if anything, I just get weird vibes off of Luke right now, because as far as we know, and canon tiers here, everything on the movies and TV shows is like 1 and 2 canon levels. So anything after that, when it comes to comic books and like supplementary stuff, like books, that stuff is like in another level of canon. But as far as we know, Luke Skywalker, with like the 2 first levels of canon, he's never had any sort of like sexual interaction or female counterpart to him, right? So at this point, I think we can chalk it up to incel rage from
he's
Luke Skywalker right now, right? He needs to get laid. Is that all really?
No, he's a historic incel. I mean, you see how happy he was just to get kissed by his sister. You know what I mean? That's a blood relative, okay? Do you see how cool he thought he was right there? That's the most action he has ever gotten, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
Dude, peeking with your sister.
Oh, dude, peeking with his sister.
Insane.
Well, yeah, and then you see the rage grow and grow and grow until he's, resorted to getting off to those udders. Those udders on Octo 2.
Yes.
That's like the second. That's the second best he's ever had after Leia, right? And so that's probably a big disforce. Well, I don't want to go too into it, but this frustration leads Luke to basically betray Ben, even if for a moment. Ben sees this as the ultimate betrayal, because to this point in his life, Ben has actually been following this Jedi code to a T. He's been trying extremely hard to be the best Jedi he can be, and he's the most powerful student. He is by far the least disappointing student of Luke's. And what does he see this guy betray him? So what does he do? He gets angry. He pulls down the house on Luke, not trying to kill him, but trying to defend himself. And he's so mad that apparently a big storm gets summoned around the Jedi Temple area, coincidental timing, and it causes a lightning strike that strikes the Jedi Temple because it's made of poverty straw, Luke, and it burns a bunch of students to death. It's like, if that was made of brick, that would not have happened, just point of fact.
1,000 IQ move from Luke Skywalker here. Ben is trying his best to follow the light, but something we haven't mentioned just yet is there's a voice inside of his head basically trying to groom him. Snoke is basically trying to seduce him. And this conflict he's having in his head, everyone else looks at him like a freak. His parents send him away. Luke Skywalker is about to, what were the interactions before that with Luke and Ben that eventually got him to take out his lightsaber? I bet they weren't great, but all these people are looking bad at you, and then the one voice in your head that's tempting you to the quote-unquote dark side is the one that's soothing you, Imagine being courted by freaks and creeps. Of course you're going to probably just lean to that side, right?
Wow.
It sucks, but it's like, yeah, of course. These people want me here. This guy wants me.
Ben has been training here since he's a kid, and Luke is really on this like dogmatic detachment Jedi grind set, right? Where it's like, don't pay attention to your emotions, like material things don't matter, your family doesn't matter, like you need to be able to achieve this perfect like patience of a Jedi, this perfect focus. But he's a kid, he's going through his puberty, he's going through his whatever, and back in the Republic days, the Jedi had like this whole institution to keep people in check and to teach them, rein them in, teach them what's important. And they also didn't have dark side voices in their head trying to convince them to do malicious stuff. And then here you have now Ben in this environment now with only one teacher who definitely isn't giving him the attention he needs. It's not nearly the institution it was. And you have this voice in your head probably telling you all these like amazing things that you wish you heard from not only Luke, but your own parents, right? It's like, oh, dude, like that was so impressive today when you defeated those other students in that lightsaber training. That was really impressive.
So proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. Like, I want to see that again tomorrow. Like, I would say you need to improve, but, and you still have room to improve, but man, I wish I was as talented as you when I was your age. Stuff like that. He probably is feeling very nurtured by this voice. And listen, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Your Honor, have you taken a look at Snoke and heard his voice, Andy Serkis? If that guy was talking to me, I would eat that shit up.
Oh, dude. It's like borderline Sleep Story. Like, welcome to Snoke's Sleep Story.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you motivation today, Ben. You're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, well.
Instead I get Luke Skywalker. What are you doing?
Oh, dude.
What are you? It's me, Luke Skywalker. I speak like this. Like, shut up, dude.
Uncle Owen.
I just hate Luke.
I do too, but this isn't the last step in his transforming to the dark side, which really starts after this point. He accidentally starts this thing on fire, and he feels horrible about it. He runs away, he flees, because he doesn't know what to do. He's like, dude, if my parents find out about this, if anybody finds out about this, I'm gonna be looked at as a monster. I did not try to do this at all. I was trying to defend myself from my monster uncle, and all of this stuff comes crashing down. Now I'm on the run because I don't know what to do, and the only voice of guidance I have is this one in my head telling me that maybe I should consider the dark side or whatever. So 3 apprentices survive this, like students, co-students of Kylo, and they end up following him because they sense like, dude, something's up with this guy. He's turned to the dark side. He just started the temple on fire. He's got problems. Their names are Hennix, Ty, and Vo. And there is a big confrontation that happens. They get into it's really like a slapstick comedic moment. You know, people are not really seeing the full picture. Like
it's like Austin Powers when he's in the bathroom and the assassins are trying to go after each other.
Right? Yeah,
they're trying to go after Austin and they're killing each other in the bathroom.
That's exactly right. Like Vo comes up and tries to sense Kylo, whatever. Starts trying to go into his mind to figure out what's going on. If not, you know, lobotomize him. But you don't know. And Kylo freaks out. He's angry. Force pushes Vo off the edge of this cliff, and there's a rock obstructing what happens to Vo, and then Hennix is coming in from the side, seeing this interaction, and because he does not see that not only did Kylo force push Vo off the cliff, but now Kylo is actually suspending Vo over the edge of the cliff because he does not want Vo to die. So he's trying to save this person, okay, at the same time, because he realizes he went overboard, but all Hennix saw was the force push, so he's coming at Kylo trying to kill his ass, okay? It's a big situation, okay? There's a lot of laughs, there's a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of head bonking. It turns out in the end that Hennix dies, okay? Dies to Kylo, and so does Vo, who is coming after Kylo to avenge Hennix. But again, it's all a huge misunderstanding, okay? And throughout all of this interaction, too, you have the Knights of Ren trying to convince Kylo as well. And so Kylo has to do this whole mission where he basically is forced into confrontation with Ren, kills Ren to take his place, takes Ren's lightsaber, modifies his own lightsaber, and now he's officially on the dark side. But it is the most misjointed, forced upon situation I've ever seen in my life. It's actually unbelievable. He did not try to do this at all.
What is the problem with turning to the dark side too, Your Honor? And like the levels of which he turned to the dark side, Kylo seems like he's closer to Count Dooku, you know, keeping kind of his ability to not have yellow eyes. Anakin, by the end of episode 3, is just full on villain, right? He's just like, I have the anger, all this villainy in me.
Right.
Anakin gets that level. Kylo never gets that level. So if you want to just even go on the ratings of turning the dark side, he's not fully there. What was the other thing that happens here? His like dark side journey as he's following Snoke. He commits mass murders here as well in his dark side journey.
Yeah. So I mean, after the murders of the apprentices, after Hennix tries to throw his lightsaber at Kylo simply reflects it and it kills Hennix. Okay, that was an accident. He then kills Vo, who is trying to come after him. So that's self-defense. Okay, just covering our bases here. 2 clear self-defense cases, reflects a saber, and then just straight up self-defense. He ends up now as a working member of the First Order because he has no one else to turn to, right? Everybody else has abandoned him, and he has to go with this one guy who's going to actually help him out. They end up doing some work in the unknown regions, okay? Far reaches of space. And the First Order, as like a resistance movement, right, to the New Republic, is trying to gain some traction. And the unknown regions is a great place to do it, but they're lacking resources. They're lacking gas. They're lacking whatever. And so they try to go to these other kingdoms, and I guarantee you they tried to strike deals with these people. They tried to say, hey, let's enter some trade. Let's enter into a contract where we provide you with a service or a product or a currency, and then you give us the products or resources we need in exchange. But they were only met with hostility, leaving them with no choice. They have to go into these kingdoms and, kind of maybe commit some massacres, some human casualties in order to get what they need. But they tried the diplomacy way first, and also Kylo's not making the rules. He's just following orders.
I really don't care about these extra, what was this, a comic book, right? These are like I said earlier, 3rd, 4th tier
That's true, yeah.
versions of canon here. So if we really just want to focus on the on-screen things that happen that we actually see him do, let's move to his actually first appearance in The Force Awakens, where he murders Lor Santeca, then also orders the execution of the villagers there on Jakku, whatever weird cult is going on there.
The Kylo was not asking for that much from this guy, and he was giving him basically nothing.
Well, he has like a very negative attitude at the very beginning. Kylo comes. Well, first off, the First Order comes in, and the villagers start shooting right away. Like, this doesn't have to get violent. Sure, we're bringing in, like, what is that, 15 Ford Raptor trucks? Yo. We're coming in hot to this village, right? And you guys shot first. Okay, we're going to escalate the force here. Now we start shooting you guys. And, of course, you have Kylo confronting Lord Santeca. But what is Lord doing? He's like, I know who you are. I know who you were before the mask. Dude, stop speaking in, like, riddles. Just, like, give me the map. Just say, no, I don't have the map. Come on, we're in a war here. You guys probably started it to begin with, right?
No, listen, based on who fired first in this confrontation, I think it's safe to say.
But the whole thing about this interaction, Lord Santeca is just not giving Kylo Ren the proper respect. And if you've ever been in sort of a military setting, if your superior officer is being like dressed down or disrespected, if that individual that's being disrespected doesn't either return or escalate it, he's going to look like a little bitch to everybody. And there's all these like little oddly shaped stormtroopers around him that are looking at like, oh, dude, what's he going to say now? Ooh. So he has to take him down. Just, sorry, I don't make the rules. I have to have the respect of my troops.
Agreed, 100%. But you don't even need to go this far because, again, they were fired on first. The First Order was fired on first. Like, they're lucky they didn't just drop like a little torpedo or something like that and take them all out at once. Like, how sad was that scene, dude? When Finn was, in that firefight and his like friend, that stormtrooper, remember that? Like the blood on the mask or whatever. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's so sad. Like, that's how many stormtroopers have died exactly like that. They're just trying to do their jobs. Like, Kylo Ren's trying to go get the map. That's all he wants, a peaceful interaction. Like, please, can I have this map, dude? Everybody meets me with aggression. It's pretty much ever since my Uncle Luke did it to me. It's a long story. You don't want to hear about it. But ever since Uncle Luke did it, everybody's been pissed off at me. I don't know what to do. Please just give me the map. I need to go talk to Luke and figure this whole thing out, okay? I just want to talk to him. And then what do? They just start shooting. They start blasting. All your subordinates are dying around you. It's horrible for morale. These are people that you've probably known for years. It's actually really sad.
Well, speaking of Finn, when Kylo eventually confronts Finn again, he doesn't just say like, hey, listen, you're some random person. I want to kill you. I'm bloodthirsty. He says one word to him and screams it out. Can you guess what that one word is?
Your Honor?
It's traitor. He screams out traitor. This man has betrayed not only his oath to the First Order, but to this bond they built as part of the Empire. Like, he's part of his crew, or at least his like battalion, whatever level Finn was compared to Kylo. And he threw that all away for what? Because he saw like some screaming women and children.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he's
no one wants to see
hungry.
that. I saw it too. Like, come on, dude. Like we all saw that. Yeah. No. And then you see him with Rey, which, say what you want about Rey, but she's a good looking girl, right? And you see him like next to her rubbing elbows. And then on top of it, they're also like being besties with your dad, who threw you away at a young age. Like, dude, I am pissed right now.
Dude, I know. It's honest to God. Like, what are you going to do? So this band of misfits who you've already had some bad interactions with comes over to your place trying to snap, crackle, pop this whole station, right? Trying to blow it up. This is like the thing that you've spent how long now, how many years of your life you've spent building this thing, not with his hands, but like the governmental framework behind it. And now you catch these same rascals, throwing the pigskin with your dad. Are you the same dad that basically abandoned you? I'd be pissed. And then not only that too, I do not have any issue with Kylo, first of all, kind of getting in this fight with Finn, but trying to kill Finn, which I don't even think he was trying to do. He ends up giving him that little slash up the back or whatever. Did that kill him? Right. Obviously not. This thing cauterizes. If he wanted to, he could have just taken it mid-slash. Like, imagine, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, real quick, emulate this with your hand. Imagine you're doing that upward slash he did. Now just kind of angle your hand so that your thumb, that side of your hand, is a little bit more outward. It would have stabbed right through him and cut him in half the long way. He didn't do that, and he has absolutely the control to be able to do that. This was not an attempted murder, but I would go as far as to say that it would have been justified if it was. This guy is a traitor, and he is now here actively trying to blow up a planet-sized operation with who knows how many soldiers on it.
And then right before this, we have this super emotional scene with Kylo eventually killing his father, Han Solo, on a bridge. Like, why would your dad confront you like that? Can you imagine your dad like having some huge moment out in the middle of like the road or something? Like, what are you doing? Zero IQ out of Han Solo. Han Solo has to be like the dumbest character in this movie by far, because like I said earlier, he sent him away because he has too much Vader in him, whatever that means. Like, he didn't know Vader. And then immediately when he comes to show, like, hey, I actually care about you, son, he brings in, like, 2 adoptive kids. Can you imagine that? Your dad, who abandoned you, who thought you were evil, comes back with, like, 2 new kids. You're like, what the hell's going on here? And that kid that you adopted is the kid that betrayed us. Like, what the heck? I'm pissed.
Yeah, dude.
Dad.
I'd be beyond pissed. It's like, would I kill my dad over it? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I can't put myself in that situation. Okay, I can't put myself in the situation, but I would like to point out, and we are not the first ones to point this out, okay? We do not see who kills Han Solo. There's a lot of theories that Han Solo actually was the one that ignited that lightsaber himself. They both have their hands on the saber at the same time, and maybe Han thought that, like,
this is the off button.
I'm basically freeing you from me, right? Like, I can tell that I'm this big pain in your life now that I'm here with these 2 adopted kids who, honestly, I hate. I thought I would like them, but over the trip getting here, it turns out I hate them. Chewie hates them too. Okay, I've clearly caused you this much emotional distress, and seeing you here now as my son, you're taller than me now, it's crazy. I realize what I did wrong. I probably just deserve to die, so I'm just going to check out. My point is just to say there's really no evidence that Kylo even did it, okay? It's circumstantial at best.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I don't know how much we really need to say about him attempting to kill Rey. I think we've kind of almost primed this before, or primed our argument before we even start talking about it here. This girl comes in, Olsen is able to, like, with no training whatsoever, judo flip some of your Jedi mind reading. Dude, I'd be so pissed at this girl. Yeah. And not only that, she's hanging out with my dad, steals my grandfather's lightsaber. Like, dude, who are you? Like, I'd be, again, just completely pissed off. And anytime I'm trying to, like, move forward on this, she's getting in my way. She's the antagonist to my journey of becoming the best me I can be. Of course, I'm going to be pissed and potentially kill her, but he doesn't kill her, right? They're fighting. Did we ever see him slash and get to the point where he's actually going to kill, like, have the lightsaber up to her neck and is like, I'm going to do it. Like, Luke was closer to killing Kylo, or Ben, whatever you want to call him, than Kylo was to Rey.
Well, we see, like, several times, not only Force Awakens, but we also see it in, like, The Last Jedi, and we see it in The Rise of Skywalker. Kylo is constantly trying to make peace with Rey. Kylo's constantly being like, dude, like, I sense something in you. Like, listen, I'm alone in this world, basically. I don't love the situation I'm in. Like, my master's not a huge fan. But, like, you and me, like, we could do this together, Like, not even because I think you're attractive. I do, but, like, we're not going to... It doesn't have to be a thing, you know what I mean? We could put that to the side. Right. You can bring your black boyfriend with you if you want to. It's not going to make me that pissed, okay? I know I could take him, so that's all that matters. Let's just go and be this duo together, this dyad, right? Let's just be a master and apprentice. Maybe we'll even be equals. At no point was he trying to murder Rey. In fact, in The Rise of Skywalker, between the 2 of them, only one of these 2 actually tried, even in a moment of weakness, to kill the other one, guaranteed. And that was Rey upon Kylo. Sure, she was able to ass pull that healing maneuver or whatever, but how is that different than Kylo, like, having a little anger moment for a second and, like, slashing up those computers or pulling the house down on Luke? At least those were justified.
Can you imagine the defense you'd have against the jury here in this world if you had some domestic violence case in front of you and you actually killed your wife, but you did CPR and revived her? Like, well, I actually revived her back.
Yeah, right.
So, like, no harm, no foul. It's like, what? No, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
no.
Rey is guilty of sin. Kylo is innocent as a little cherub angel, to be honest with you. But, another thing I want to briefly mention here while we're still on Starkiller Base, just to discount it, is the destruction of the Hosnian system. Okay, we're talking about the destruction, first of all, of this, like, new corrupt New Republic that moves around, doesn't even have a permanent home. They don't take the First Order seriously. They don't take the Resistance seriously. They clearly don't give a shit about anything except their, like, little elite aristocratic world. But more importantly, did Kylo even have anything to do with the destruction of Hosnian Prime?
No, where was he ever instrumental besides being part of the First Order with the plan of destroying Hosnian Prime or just the Hosnian system? No, I have no idea what Kylo can be attributed to this at all. I mean, is he complicit? I don't know. I mean, you can't pin this on this guy. And also, here, the only justification you need for this, no Coruscant, no thank you. So goodbye.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Hosnian Prime, dude, that sucks. First of all, it's probably a villainous place, and 2, Kylo didn't push the button. So,
and do you even think that Kylo Ren killing Snoke is a crime in The Last Jedi?
Listen, maybe in another scenario, but not with this Snoke in this moment. Dude, Snoke is being such a little shitster. He's laughing, he's giggling, he's wearing this big golden bathrobe. It's like, dude, would you just take are you taking a shower after this? Like, what's going on here? You know?
It's his go-to drip, too. Like, any person that wears a robe constantly is guilty first and needs to prove their innocence later, or at some other later time. I'm immediately looking at this person going, "You're a freak.
You're a freak."
With your little gold robe, and it's not even like a nice belt he has on there like the Jedi have. It's just a cloth robe. What is that for? Robes are for like what, easy access and maybe like breathability. What is this for?
That's my biggest concern. The easy access. It's like, how close am I actually to your naked body right now? How close am I actually? I don't know. How many layers am I dealing with? And it's not even really layers. It's just how easy is it to get to? Because if he was wearing like a one-piece tactical suit, let's just say like a tactical black like stealth suit, and it's like super durable, like bulletproof, whatever you want to say, and it's one piece, no underwear, that's not a big deal. It's only one layer. A golden robe, that thing is loosey-goosey, and these people all know the Force. Like, that thing is coming up, lickety-split, like a snap of the fingers, he's going to be exposed. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he looks like an old man, too, so whatever you want to think, loosey-goosey, times that by 10, that's how much more loosey-goosey his body will be in any sort of, like, moving way, It's... Old man with a robe is a disaster waiting to happen. Yeah. Also, just that whole room, like, what the hell is going on here? A red room? There's no other color? Who designed this thing?
And he has
it's an eyesore.
He has like that weird telescope kind of thing, like sitting in the corner of the room. Like, there's not a better way to get like a view of the situation. You can't get a hologram or like a screen to show you. It seems it's like trying to be retro for no reason. It's like, who do you think you are, dude?
He's trying to like have literally everything else in the room and on his body scream so that you don't look at this disgusting gash in his forehead. Like, I really hope I draw everyone's attention away from my freakish body by drawing it literally anywhere else but my forehead.
Yeah, even freakier forehead. And that, it even gets worse, by the way, when you talk about Snoke's true nature, being Palpatine. Like, as if it couldn't get any worse. At least if it was just Snoke, he's like his own autonomous being. But now you have this weird, like, ambiguous, maybe he was being controlled by Palpatine. Like, did he ever even have a real personality of his own? Like, was it really just like, hey, like, do it? Was it really that the whole time? You're like, Kylo, strike me down, Kylo. Was it really that the whole time?
Yeah, Palpatine's like, when I come back, I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to be a little piece of shit to this guy.
I know,
it's gonna
be
so much fun. Yeah. And I would respect the fact that Snoke is shitting on Kylo's helmet and saying like how stupid it looks if his drip was on point. But after you see Snoke's drip and just like his whole throne room and just what a disaster that is, and then he's shitting on Kylo's awesome helmet, it's like, dude, you're just jealous. It's so petty what he's doing there.
It's petty. And sidebar, quick, Your Honor, I noticed that you are also wearing a robe. Okay, there's no exceptions for judges in our statements either. Okay, reconsider next time on our next session. It's disgusting what you're wearing. You're also an old man, so no robes, please. And yeah, we will not be your counsel, but you will be on trial next.
And this whole interaction between Snoke and Kylo, this was the inevitable conclusion of this relationship. If they're not Sith, because it's weird, because then later on we have like the Sith like troops in Episode 9, but the rule of two. He had to know what was going to happen, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. He was going to kill you. He was going to strike you down. The apprentice was inevitably going to kill you. So you should not be surprised, like, damn, I really thought we were going to live happily ever after. It's like, no, this was going to be the inevitable conclusion of this relationship. Like,
also in conclusion, Your Honor, he should be innocent because he is the only good thing about the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this and smash that like button.
Or not, we don't care.